Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the cruise ship tour series. So we're going to be going over two big areas inside of the cruise ship. They're kind of separated from each other. So really, I would make two tour videos, but since we can get through these areas quickly, we're going to have it be in just one video. So, it's mostly just crew areas for the most part. Nothing too crazy. Let me just say real quick. What's playing right now in the game is my favorite Minecraft soundtrack, Area Math. That's what I believe it's called. I love this soundtrack. It's gonna be the thing that I first try to play on the piano too. So stay tuned for when I figure that out. But anyways, let's begin the tour. So right here, this is just a storage room. That's kind of all this area for the most part. Just a bunch of storage rooms and things like that. Now, normally people would black out these doors where they just place black blocks behind them. But I decided to go ahead and detail these rooms with a storage look. So really it's a general design, banners on the wall, slabs for shelving, iron bars to make it look utilitarian, and a couple of plants along with a rug. That's kind of my general design for all the storage rooms. I mean, maybe not realistic or anything, but it looks detailed, so why not? And it's kind of pasted around down here. There's even a few variants like this one here where it's a little bigger. And there's a variant down here where it's just a bit smaller, or it's not even a square shape, so things are just situated differently. But same design for the most part. Down here, this door leads out into a big room where, as you can see, there's just a whole big beam going through the ship here. Now, as we tour the ship, you guys will see a lot of structure in the areas we're going to look at for the ship, but keep in mind that it's not realistic. A cruise ship's structure isn't held up like a building is because, first off, it's not a building, it's a ship, and so it has to be very tight around the walls and stuff like that. Here, I'm building it in a way that there is weight above, not weight on the sides. You see, when you're making a cruise ship, you got to have your beams kind of situated along the side of the ship. Sure thing through the middle, but as you can see, it just looks more focused on holding up the ceiling. So really not that realistic, but well, it works out all right. It looks strong, just not realistic. So it's all right though. It's all right. There's also a bunch of space down here that's taken up by other luxuries, other things. That's why the walls are just kind of. That's why you suspect there's areas here that are empty, but really it's just taken up by something above or below. So keep that in mind. This is a bar for the crew. Now I've actually looked at real life cruise ships, and there's this one person who does a tour of the crew area and really just the whole cruise ship. And it was very interesting. In fact, the crew members have a lot of luxury for themselves, probably just as much as passengers do. So I gave them a I gave them a cafe and cafeteria, but they could use a little more, like a little dance floor area and stuff like that. But this is a bar with a TV, and I think it's really nice. There's even another bar down below. So this floor here is just a bunch of storage. Also, I can't tell you what deck we're on because it doesn't quite meet up with the general deck floor level, this whole area here, so yeah. But from where we started, assume we were on deck 7. This is 2 seats right here. Just a nice little area to be situated away from everyone. Really, this whole floor you could just walk around in and you'd only see nobody because it's just a bunch of storage. Really, it'd all be used when, well, you need to grab out some storage, of course. So, and it wouldn't be a place you'd typically be at. So, yep. Moving on down here. Now the ceiling is really high. Now this floor is where you can find another bar, which is, in my opinion, one of my favorite bars I've built so far. That rhymes a little bit. Seats around there. You got your glass panel there. It's really cool. No TV, but you'll need one here. It looks cool enough. You got a little secluded seating area. I like how this looks. It just looks so away from everyone, away from everything, you know. Just have a little seat here, and you know, you could just sit here and just feel alone for a second. I should maybe build a TV here so at least you're a little occupied, but it looks really cool overall. Just that little seating area. I'd like to sit there sometimes, you know, whenever the bar is too crazy, people are getting a little rough. There's a couple of seats here, and the bar is also duplicated over there. The middle of the ship is located right here, and it's also the very back of the ship, if I didn't mention where we were at. The back wall of the ship is just right here. So, like, this is the farthest back you can go on this deck. And that's also why it's kind of narrow. When you're like at the middle of the ship, that wall to that wall is a bigger distance, about 200 blocks. Here, it's more of a 50 block distance, or maybe say 70, but yeah. Moving down, this is the lowest level for this area. This is on the water level, so we're just above the engine room. Here's a seat, just a nice little couch to be on. A couple more storage areas. Once again, they're not important. This is a cafe right here, which is strange. I mean, you'd expect us to be above more, and really I should have maybe put it up there, but wasn't room for it, so it's down here at the very bottom of the ship, just above the engine room. You get a cafe. I mean, I've seen cruise ships that are like that anyway, real cruise ships, so I think it's kind of nice. You got your cafe for the crew. And I mean, it's going to be kind of difficult to be here as a crew member because you're actually not close to your stateroom or anything. You have to walk quite a distance to get here. Sorry, I just can't imagine what you have to walk through. Because this cruise ship is complex already. It's a very complex build. Walking through this build is a nightmare if it was a real build, like a real thing. So, yeah. But at least you're able to get everywhere from any point in the ship. Just it's always a very confusing path that you have to choose. So, yeah. For example, we're going down this hallway right now, and the only way you get here is by going down the stairs over there. Or you could just maybe travel through the parking garage, which is just right here. I won't show this parking garage for the most part. I mean, it's just it takes up a huge portion of the ship towards the back, but it's not that important. All that's going to be in there is cars, and I really want to tour that towards the end of building the ship because I am working on a load of cars to put inside of the parking garage, so keep that in mind. This is just a huge storage room up here. Nothing all that special about it. Just storage. Just kind of like the front of the oh, I remembered the ceiling. It's missing a ceiling in here. Look, it's supposed to be nether bricks, but it's just missing its ceiling. That's been annoying. I feel like that could be fixed easily, but then again, it's not a square-shaped room, so getting it, maybe we'll just leave it. It's fine. It's been duplicated over the other side. It looks, at least it's symmetrical. It's fine. Okay. Now this room looks really structural, although it's unrealistically structural. It looks really strong in here, though. Like, sorry, I'm having a few hiccups here. It looks very strong. Looks supported. Okay. So as you can see, a bunch of hanging lights here. This is where all of the supplies for docking the ship are, for the most part. Where all the ropes are, the anchor. It's all the supplies at the back of the ship. This whole entire area is going to be kind of redone at the front as well, and maybe even at the middle. So right here, this is the whole exterior of the ship, as you guys can see. A bunch of windows along the side here with a bunch of doors over here, and it's just a whole little area where you can see all the decking supplies, all the stuff for port. And also, there is no real port in the world that could really facilitate this ship. I am, in fact, working on one in another Minecraft world, so yeah. There's like about 3 Minecraft worlds just for this one cruise ship for everything, so yeah. And it's going to suck when I have to take the whole cruise ship and paste it into another world, because that's going to be a long process. 1,000,000 blocks is like 1 deck of this entire cruise ship, so... And you can't paste really above that number, otherwise your computer's going to crash. So it's going to be a difficult challenge trying to get this whole entire cruise ship pasted into another world, but it's going to have to be done when it's a done build. So we'll get there, though. We'll get there. As you can see here, just a couple of ropes. Nothing too special. They hook to the dock, and as you can see here, it's kind of like a whole big hoop formation here. It's like on a port, it'd hook around a pole here, and it would connect to these 2 massive structural pieces. So yeah, and here's the anchor. Pretty massive anchor, although I feel like it should be bigger, but really there's not much room left in here. So I like it though. It's a cool concept. It's on a big conveyor here. It's kind of like attached to this conveyor. When the door swings open, it'll slide right out into the water, and it'll be attached to this little rope here, although that doesn't look very strong, so it'll probably rip off. But yeah, it looks really cool. Down here, there's a storage room, as you can see. Anyways, moving on. So, I think that's actually it for this whole area here. Oh, I almost forgot to mention. These little pieces here, what are these? This is like a bridge that is buildable for the ship. So say if you're a passenger getting on or a crew member getting on, more so a crew member would use this. You can use this track here. You could build it. There's pieces up there on the wall that are like hanging. You could use these pieces to build a bridge from port onto the ship. And I know, I just thought it was cool, so yeah. I think that's more of an older thing that ships used to do. I don't think it's normally done today. I'm pretty sure like the tracks to get on the ships from the port are a lot more like airport things or modern looking tracks, you know. I don't think they have these build a track pieces inside of a boat anymore. In here, oh yeah, this is the parking garage, just a higher level. The parking garage comes from deck 1 all the way up to deck it goes all the way up to deck 7. No. Yeah, no. I can't really tell where the parking garage comes from, but it's a huge part of the ship. We'll get to touring that towards the end of the entire cruise ship's building process, so stay tuned for that. Also, we're going to go move over to another area of the ship, so we're going to have to walk through the parking garage here to get there. It's just over here. Don't look at the horrendous unfinished part of the ship, guys. I know it's not done yet. Let's see. So up here. Oh, okay. Right here. This is where we go next. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you guys might remember this area. This is from the deck 5 through 7 tour, where we toured all those passenger rooms and all the eating areas, along with the cool light designs in the hallways. Let me go over here. You guys get it, right? You remember this area? So I've done a bit of renovation towards the back of it here, and this is a new little atrium here. I created it because I wanted the passengers to have access to their cars in the parking garage. There really wasn't a way to do that, so I had to build this atrium here, get rid of 2 of the rooms that were here, and it worked out, although it was a little bit of a tri-level thing because the parking garage floor level doesn't meet up to the floor level of the passenger cabins. But it worked out, so, you know, you kind of walk around here, you can go down here, and, well, yeah, it's a bit weird because, well, there's no stairway down to there. You'd have to walk about 200 blocks that way to get down there, so we're just gonna plop down here. Yes, so it's just basically an access from the parking garage to your cabin. Very, very simple. It probably would be more efficient if this went through the entire ship, but nope. If you want to get higher in the ship, you're gonna have to walk 200 blocks that way. So maybe not the most efficient travel, but hey, I think it works out all right. I mean, no matter where you get on the ship, you're always gonna have to travel up a lot because, yeah, most of the passengers for boarding the ship would have to go up, not down, up. So there's gonna be a lot of traffic when you get on the ship for sure. Also, the deck levels are getting a lot taller now. This is the crew area we're in. The parking garage is definitely in the crew area for sure. So really this area is just for passengers to get up into the ship. That is until you get behind these stairs right here and go through these doors. So right in here is a massive room filled with 4 massive ships. And they do have a very odd styling. So before, this room was just kind of underneath all of the passenger cabins, and it was a big empty space that I really had no idea what to do inside of it. I was thinking just like a whole recreational area. So what I mean by that is like an area where I recreate things from other video games, and yeah, it wouldn't really fit though. I mean, not in the ship's nature. Like, it wouldn't really fit. And what would really fit down here is just more passenger cabins or whatever. And I decided that we're just going to have another ship storage room. There is a ship storage room just in that direction right in front of this room. There is like a whole ship storage room right on the other side of that wall there. And this room here was going to be like for passenger areas and whatnot, but it was left empty. This whole space here was in fact supposed to be taken up by the parking garage, but was actually left empty. So, yep. And so I decided I was going to replicate the map of Among Us, the scaled map, and well, it was too big. So I had to downsize the map a little bit. And it's a very small version of Among Us, but hey, I think it's big enough to walk in and everything like that. And it fits inside of the style of a spaceship, except it's not a spaceship because it doesn't have the spaceship features, it's actually a boat. Yes, to build a spaceship in here would be a very unrealistic thing because, well, this is a cruise ship. I don't know why a spaceship would be inside of a cruise ship, to be honest. That doesn't make too much sense. I mean, where would it launch and stuff like that? Um, yeah. So it's actually a boat, but it looks like a spaceship. And if it were a real thing, I think it'd be like a submarine boat or something like that. So as you can see at the back here, we got the propellers, and there's these cool lights here. These are supposed to be like the engine thrusters from the Among Us map. So let's hop into one of these. Now, there's two of them that are not completed. It's only that one and that one. Those two are done. But these two over here are kind of like gutted out a little bit and not complete. I'm in fact going to keep it like that because it is kind of creepy if you think about it, you know? Just seeing something so completed and like finished and stuff, and then you get to see a build that's dark. The exterior's done, but it's gutted in there. So look at here. You see all the walls are unfinished and stuff like that. I actually think that's kind of cool and creepy in a way. So if you want to be in there, you can. Just seeing an unfinished room and stuff like that. At least it looks done on the outside, so there's that. Alright, so stepping into one. This is the scaled map from Among Us. It's my version of it. And it is a little changed. I had to make sure that this boat, or whatever, was symmetrical. The navigation room has to be symmetrical, so it was actually moved over a little bit. It was supposed to be that way a little more, but it's over this way because it needs to meet in the middle for the ship. And I think it does. So here is the navigation room. Over here is seat, big seat. And you can see through the window and drive the ship. I will go outside of the cruise ship and show you what it looks like, because there's a lot of beams and stuff going on inside of it that you can't really see the full thing on the outside. So we'll get to showing that after I show the inside. This way you have oxygen. You got the tank here, another oxygen supplies, and I guess a computer there. I really was a little confused trying to look at what the details were in here. But, you know, I think it worked out all right. And here we have weapons. As you can see, the ceilings are also kind of sloped down a little bit because of the exterior design. Here's a couple of machines, you know, like you see in the Among Us map. You got these things guarding you from these purple and colorful machines, I guess. You got your little shooting thing here, along with a fake window. Fake windows look better sometimes. I'm just saying, you know? Fake windows look better. And even though that's just blue, it looks very cartoony, so I like it. Some windows are real, some windows are fake, so keep that in mind. This is probably the most notable area. This is the cafeteria right here, where I believe you spawn here in the original game, or maybe you just spawn randomly in other places. This is where the meeting button is. Emergency meeting. Yep, cafeteria. You got the 5 cafeteria tables, along with the window here. And a sloped ceiling for a change, I guess. I wonder if the real Among Us map... You don't see the ceiling in the Among Us map, so really it doesn't matter what I do with it. And here, we have the med bay. Here's a little scanner thing you just go on, I guess. So there's med bay. This way you have upper engine. You got that line going to the engine there. This is the engine, as you guys can see, with that tank there, that stuff like that. I'm trying to detailing it correctly. It was hard to work in here because it's such a small little area, low ceilings and everything. But I got it to look somewhat right. And here we have reactor. Also, that was lower engine over there. This is reactor here. I think it looks like a beauty salon or something. This is security here. We got 3 TVs, a desk with a computer. I don't think there's a computer at that desk, but it looks fine with a computer. The desk looked a little odd looking empty and stuff, so. Moving on down to electrical. This place is where people are kind of nervous. Don't like it in electrical for sure. As you can see, a bunch of levers and buttons and torches. This is storage. There's a window in storage. Now, it's not like this on the actual Among Us map. It's just a wall. But I want it to look symmetrical in Minecraft. So there's a window in storage. And it's kind of off from the walls. But I actually kind of like that window. It looks nice, okay? You gotta agree with me, man. That window looks rather nice. So we're going to keep it. Got a couple of boxes here and stuff like that. I think these are barrels. And this is a crate. This is the middle of the whole ship here. This is admin. As you can see, you got that table along with the 3 computers. Then moving this way, you have communications, a bunch of TVs. This looks like a kitchen. Yep, there's the communications room, and this is shields. This is shields. There's just a bunch of lights in here. I really didn't know how to design that room. I guess adding armor in there would have been kind of cool, but I don't want to get to adding like iron or item frames inside of my ship, so we'll keep that kind of restrained. But anyways, moving on outside of the ship, I will go ahead and show you what this whole thing in here looks like without all the beams and stuff kind of obstructing it. So here it is, just right outside of the cargo doors here. This is what is inside of the ship. This is the exterior of it. As you can see, it doesn't look like a boat. But it also, it has a spaceship style, but it's actually a boat, so that's what it is. And I think I did okay with the design. It was hard because like the map is very unsymmetrical in reality, so it was kind of hard fitting it in here. But I did it, so there's that. And even got the lights on the outside here, which I think look awesome. Very aggressive looking on the front too. There's these little lights on the front. I think it looks kind of questionable on the front, but the back looks great. So, you know, I think I did pretty well on that. And we don't need to replace that because, well, this isn't the actual map for the ship that I'm working on. So, yeah. In fact, this map is kind of dated. I'm doing more work on the ship on a different version of Minecraft. This is a save of a map that was completed before, so yeah, I could destroy anything and it wouldn't affect my progress on the ship because it's a different save. So yep, moving on. This is the biggest room inside of the ship. There is only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's about 16 beams holding up the ceiling in here in total, and that is very few. So in here you could see we have 4 cruise ships and 2 lifeboats just on the sides of the ship, and it is crazy how much is in here. So as you can see, this is a whole cruise ship, just a whole cruise ship in here, and this is another cruise ship which is gutted, as you guys can see, so there's nothing inside of it. It's just the outside skeleton. I'm gonna get to designing this ship with a new interior because before it had a pretty boring interior, so I want to get it to look better. This ship right here is the RCL Solidity. It has a full interior inside of there. And you guys can download the map of this ship on Planet Minecraft. It's a separate world with a flat world of water that you can download the RCL Solidity on. Now, it is missing a couple of details, which I apologize for, but it was kind of a rushed build just because I wanted to build this cruise ship so that it goes inside of this bigger cruise ship. So really, it was built for the purpose of being inside of this room. So don't expect it to have the most amazing detail. It was built in 2 days only, so yeah. Anyways, coming back over here, these 2 rooms right here, these are just control panel rooms, nothing too special, but it is really insane just how far down this hallway goes. I mean, look at that. I could count all the chairs and you'd have so many people to work in here too. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, the work environment on this ship must be insane for the crew. So there's 4 of those situated on every side of the ship here, which I think is just cool. I also want to talk about the structure in here, the ceiling. As you guys can see, it is a lot of supported looking ceiling, but in fact, there's a beam that should be in like the middle here for this to really hold up, because you'd probably see a big bend or something here for sure. I mean, just think about all the weight that's above this room. That's why the beams look so big up there and strong. So, yeah, definitely not a realistic room, but I tried my best trying to make it look very structurally supported, and I think it looks okay. Definitely not realistic, but good enough that you could look at the structure support and say, that looks very detailed. So, yeah, moving on. Let's hop down here. I also like how it looks here with this. It looks like a bridge on a castle, you know? And it's just above a big, thick brick wall. Well, actually, what's inside of it is a tunnel from the parking garages that go underneath the ship. And they go all the way... Here, let me get in here. So... And it goes to this interior part of the whole area, too. So let me just go through here, show you. So this is that whole, like, line of parking, or, roads that just go through the ship. So that down here, this is the parking garage. It goes this way, and it goes through the interior part here of the big storage room. And you can even get into there. It keeps going. And then you get down here to an intersection that goes left or right. And it will go along the side of the ship, and it will lead you all the way to the front down that hallway there. So it's really cool, though. Like, just thinking of it, it's an awesome concept. Just roads inside of your cruise ship leading to places that are... It's just a cool thought to think of. In a cruise ship, with a cruise ship inside of it, too. It's just crazy, man. Crazy. Anyways, think of this here like an office building, because it doesn't actually go through the entire ship. It just... So, like, it goes from that floor all the way up to the ceiling, and then it just doesn't go up higher in the ship. So, really, this area is just kind of exclusive to the storage room, and nowhere else. But you can access the engine room through this whole area, too. So, over here, this will take you down to deck 0, the engine room. Down here, and I'm pretty sure you guys might remember this if you watched the first tour I did, where we went over the entire engine room. And down there you could see that lobby that had the ugly floor pattern that actually worked out alright. So, yep, this area must bring back a few memories. It was that whole eating area in the engine room, the area for workers to hang out, and then it goes up into this area where the ship's storage room is, and it's just kind of more of that, in fact. It's kind of like an extension just above it. So a bunch of hangout places, TVs, things like that. Then up here, you got more eating area. The detail changes drastically because this area was kind of rushed. But really, I don't know what to put up here. So I guess I have the freedom to rush it. It's fine. Then we get up to this floor where it's just a bunch of rooms. Nothing too special. I feel like I could have added maybe a plant or two up here, but it looks alright. I mean, really, this area can be kind of forgotten. I mean, you wouldn't really be here. But in here, these are just a couple of rooms for the crew. Here, you could fit 4 people in this room. And here, you could fit 4 people. And then over here, you could fit 5 people in this room. So, really compact, like, passenger packing for sure. And then there's bathrooms right here. Now, there's no bathrooms in the crew rooms, which sucks, but you know what really sucks? There's no showers in the public bathrooms, in which I am planning to add that sometime, so yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine the path you would have to travel to find an actual shower in the ship from this area, so, you know, it's kind of needed. Up here, just more rooms and things like that without windows. And then up here, oh. Yeah, so as I said, it ends, but the staircase is still here. It's still been pasted up. What I'm thinking though is adding a little hangout area up here though. So we'll close off this these stairs right here, and just make it into a regular wall. And then up here, just a little bit of seats. You know, no lighting really. I mean, honestly, it looks kind of nice up here without any lighting. Just having the light come from up the stairs. It's kind of nice. You know, I feel like it would fit a nice little vibe. So why not? Anyways, moving this way, we're out onto the cool bridges that you take to get into the storage room or the interior room here. And over here, towards the front of the ship, it's actually 2 bridges. So you got one down here where it's like a cool thick brick wall. Then you got a one above it, and it's like you're really close to the ceiling up here. And you can also go over here and look out this balcony. Like, it's like a kingdom here, like a kingdom in this room with how big it is. So it's a really awesome room. Also, I want to go down here and point out this whole area too. This is how you get onto the ships. So down here, the stairs come down from that path up there, and you can see all these lights going through underneath the control room there, and you get onto the ships through this area here. So on this side of the storage room, you get onto this ship, and on the other side, you can get onto the smaller cruise ships. So what I mean is, if we head over the way over here, as you can see, the stairway is actually over here, and it's so you can get onto this ship. So I think this whole area is probably my favorite in the entire cruise ship so far. I love it. It's massive, it's big, it's crazy. But what we get to in the next video is probably even better. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to, well, you know what to do. I guess I'm out. So, see ya. I broke a block.